Yeah, they're feeling good. Feeling good. Other than the obviously the physical pain you can feel, a couple of stitches here and there in the mouth, but everything's good. It's all starting to soak in now, and just looking forward to getting home.
How many stitches? That was a pretty nasty cut under your eye. How many stitches did that take to patch up,
I've got a
Alex?
few stitches. I've got a few stitches here and there, so I couldn't tell you how many. There's quite a few though. Like there's some up here or
Yeah.
somewhere there, or there maybe, and I've got a couple here, some in the lip, and then I've got some in my mouth as well. So, um, yeah, so that's yeah, quite a few. There's quite a few there. I don't know. It was weird. It's like you. That's what even the doc said. Like when he was stitching me up, he goes, "Mate, it looks like you've been in a bare knuckle fight." It just
Wow.
must have been with how Diego Lopez likes to throw. Like he can be quite scrappy, so you get different
Yeah.
parts of his hands. So you get like some of these knuckles coming through, but yeah, it marked me out.
I don't know if you've had a chance to rewatch the fight with the commentary yet, but one of the things they talked about was that Dan Ige had said after he fought Diego just how hard and how powerful of a guy he was. You've been in there with some killers. Was that your experience too? I mean, he obviously is a super tough guy, but did you feel like he had a lot of power, Alex?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he definitely has got power, and especially because he chucks everything into it too, right? Like he fully
Yeah.
commits, and that's why he's so dangerous. Like there's only guys that can do that is people that have incredible chins, and he's lucky he's got an incredible chin. You know what I mean? So that kept me on my toes, knowing that I can land on him. If he didn't have a good chin, like I would have put him to sleep, right? Anyway, if it was
Multiple times,
some
probably.
other, yeah, for most some of other guys would have went to sleep, but he takes it so well and it works for him. You know what I mean? And that's why he's so dangerous because there are shots that you can land on him, but he will fire every single time. So yeah, it's a tough fight. Like we knew that going in, like he did exactly what we expected, and so we knew it was going to be tough. When you would be tough like that, when we might wear some here and there, just had to make sure it was fewer than we wanted.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going through your mind as you're fighting. Even I think it was like a minute or so into the fight. I mean, you landed a nice clean shot on him. Are you even saying to yourself, "Wow, I'm surprised that he's"? You heard him, it seemed like, but more or less, he obviously remained very much in the fight.
Yeah, yeah. Like
Were you
I think,
surprised?
man, like
Yeah.
well, I landed big shots. Like he went a bit off balance. I don't know how rocked he was. You know what I mean? Like because of how all them other shots I was landing and he wasn't getting rocked, it just made me think like, oh, maybe the ones that I did wobble him a bit. Maybe he was just off balance because
Right.
he's got incredible chin, man. Hands sore from hitting it a few times, especially after that first round. Even a bit of the ground and pound, landed
Yeah.
some big shots. But he done well. He knew, I think. Once I took it down, even though he's a jiu-jitsu guy, he's like, I don't want to be here with him. So his defense, takedown defense was strong after that.
Uh, he had a few moments in the fight. I know they were sort of debating whether or not you had actually gotten hurt in that second round or if you were more off balance. What was that late in the second round, Alex, when you went down to the ground? Was that more being off balance on your part?
I mean, yeah, like they always feel like that. They always feel
Yeah.
like I'm always sort of there, right? So
Right.
it's hard to tell, like, because you feel like you're there, but then you watch back sometimes and you're like wobbling. You're like, oh, I didn't think I was wobbling, right?
Right.
But yeah, like I don't know. I went back, like you see me come to it. If I did go rock that all, it would have been very, very, minor. I think I don't think it was too bad, but I mean, it's good. Like to be honest, we these are questions we want to be answering too, right?
Yeah.
People want to see if I can still take a punch and all that. I want to see it, right? So he landed some big shots. I didn't go lights out, so that's a good thing. So I'm glad to be marked up, knowing that I can still take some punches.
Alex, just talk to me about just the accomplishment. I mean, you obviously you come into the UFC, have a great run, you become champion, but then to fight your way back and to once again get on top when we know how hard that is to do. How much does that mean to you? Does it even mean more than getting there the first time?
Yeah, yeah, it does. It does for sure. Because while you're going through the process, you're just training, and that's all you know. I didn't have an understanding of this sort of situation, and then to bounce back at an age where everyone's counting you out, and then rightfully so, knowing that they it's not just, oh, these people, I've got a chip on my shoulder because they're, counting me out. So they have every right to think that. I said it all week. You guys have every right to count me out. I'm turning 37, I'm 36.
Yeah.
No one's won a title in our divisions over 35. I'm coming off two knockout losses. People know that, knockout losses can mess with the confidence and all that. Then you've got to battle with, trying to make that not a thing and, all that type of stuff. There's so much that goes into it. And then to be able to still be successful after it all is pretty incredible, especially against a tough young guy like Lopez as well. So the questions were answered. Um, it's a pretty incredible feeling. I just can't wait to get back home and celebrate with the family and properly soak it up.
I know you've got to put on you've I don't know if maybe this is not even true, but you don't want to show weakness leading up to a fight. Did you even have some questions, Alex, about, hey, have I lost a little something? And does that make me an elite fighter anymore, or am I not at that level anymore? Did you have something to prove to yourself, I guess is the question, when you were in the octagon?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Short answer, yes. You know what I mean? You're always gonna. You know what I mean? And you're right. A lot of people aren't gonna give too much information on these types of things,
Right.
especially before the fight. And even after the fight, they still won't.
Yeah.
Um, and there could still be questions there, right? But it doesn't matter. I've rose above things like this plenty of times. Even if there's still challenges ahead of me, I'm gonna take them on. I'm gonna come out swing. I'm ready for them. You know what I mean? I'm gonna take on these challenges, and I guess that's exciting as well. No matter how you're feeling about it, I think it's only going to be a positive in the end.
I'll get you out of here on these.
Trying to get through it, right? Like what I said with the adversity and all that type of
Yeah.
stuff. Just trying, even if you still have questions, like, all right, no, all right, let's see how we go. I'm going to try and take it on. I'm going to try and be stronger. I'm going to try and be better. I'm going to try and be more confident. You know what I mean? And then go and get it done. And that'll mean much more later on. And if not, if you don't get the results, as I said, doesn't matter if you don't get the results. It's just going to make you stronger.
Right. I think anyone that's watched your career knows you don't shy away from a challenge. What's the plan now? You
Hmm.
you go back, you spend time with the family. What does the rest of this year look like for you in your mind, Alex? Fighting
Yeah,
wise.
well, I guess, yeah, fighting wise, I obviously wanted to get back in there.
Yeah.
I mentioned about being a very active. I still want to be active. Just got to get a few things looked at. Obviously, few bumps and bruises. See how that goes. Talk to the UFC, and we'll make it happen.
Anyone you
But I
have in
definitely want to fight. I'm definitely fighting again this year.
mind?
The question is, am I doing two more?
Oof. That'd be really active. Anyone you have in mind, or is it sort of, hey, there's not a clear challenger out there, and we'll see what the UFC wants to do.
Yeah, that's what it is. I was hoping it would be a lot more clearer, especially because I want to be active. I was hoping it would be a lot more clearer, but it's just not. You know what I mean? Not yet. So we'll see.
I know, been
I,
there,
th- I
done
think,
that with
look,
yeah,
Mosbar was a name I kept mentioning.
yeah,
I just got to see if UFC even want that, right? Does the UFC want that? Do the people want that? I'm sure Mosvar wants it. I was going to
yeah,
say there's Mosvar wants. I'm sure he wants it, but I just got to see what will make sense, right? But again, I'm going to be active enough where I can I can make sure whoever wants it, they probably both can get it done this year.
yeah. Everyone who knows you, they know how much you cherish your family. You told your kids you were coming back with the belt. What is it going to mean when you get back there with that belt, just like Dad said he'd do?
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess it's cool little present, something a little more, superficial, something that they can be like, oh wow. But as I said, post fight, it's so much more than that. It's not really about actually having a belt and look, being a world champion. I think it's the rise to being a champion, the rise of overcoming so much and still, as I said, with adversities and people counting you out and not shying away from the challenge and then still pushing through and getting it done. Like that's the message I hope the younger generation and my kids can get out of it.